Welcome to this special report for entrepreneurs and small business owners. 3 strategies to attack and solve the bookkeeping aspects of running your small business. Well, we want to welcome everybody to our call today. The title is going to be 3 strategies to solve the bookkeeping aspects of running your business. And our host is Charles Wilson, CPA of Charles Wilson, LLC. If you don't know Charlie, he's the owner of a certified public accounting firm in the Houston metro area that was started in 2003, and he has over 25 years experience in tax planning, consulting, and compliance, and he's got a lot of experience and focus in assisting a diverse group of closely held businesses, their owners, and high net worth individuals with all aspects of tax and financial planning and compliance. And he specializes in coordinating corporate, personal, and asset accumulation issues. So with that, we'll just welcome, Charlie, welcome to the call.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Well, yes, I'd like to talk about, when we come across potential clients and they're looking for some bookkeeping assistance, a lot of times, we have to go walk through the process with them as to what they are looking for, because there's basically 3 different strategies that business owners use with their accounting process. The first is that the owner tries to do it on its own, and there's some advantages, disadvantages with that. Sometimes they will try to hire a full-time, part-time person to do the accounting. And then the last is trying to outsource that accounting to a firm such as us. And so those are the 3 strategies that I'd like to talk about and discuss a little bit about what the pros and the cons are for each of them. When a business owner is trying to do the accounting on their own, a lot of times what we have seen, the problem with that is they just don't have the time to commit to it, to basically keep it, the accounting process in a position where they can actually use that information to help manage their business. And what I mean by that is they don't reconcile their bank accounts regularly. They don't reconcile their credit card statements regularly. They may not even get, let's say, the credit card charges into the system. And so if the system is not basically kept up to date, then how does a business owner use the accounting system basically to help run and manage their business? And so, a lot of times that is what we see is just the business owner is getting overwhelmed because they don't have enough time to devote to it. It is not their strength. They'd rather be out there selling or doing the operation that the business performs and not worry about so much about the accounting. And when they do it, it's always usually at the last minute rushed, and there's always, typically errors involved in it. The next strategy is the owner may, feel that they can just go out and hire someone to do this. But a lot of times what we have seen with this, when trying to hire someone, that is a process in itself. And then trying to find someone who is a right fit, has the right educational background, and then will work in the environment that the business owner is in, that's a tough combination. And then let's say that a business owner does find someone, oftentimes the accounting work is not a full-time job. And so you are trying to hire someone as an accounting individual, but yet, and pay them for that level, but yet you do not have work enough to keep them full-time doing that type of work. And so what oftentimes they'll end up doing clerical work, filing work, which then at that point you're overpaying them because, there's just not enough accounting work there for them to do. And then if you do hire someone, a business owner oftentimes, that's another head count And if they don't have other employees, you've got to deal with the addition, adding this person. Do we need to add benefits? Yes, no. Deal with unemployment, the tax filings, and all that good stuff. And so it's just, a lot of it. Do you want the headache of trying to find someone, make sure it's the right person, and then not having to overpay because you don't have enough work? The third option is to outsource the bookkeeping to an accounting firm like us. And the advantages of that is, a lot of times when we do the accounting bookkeeping for a business owner, we are acting as a part-time controller to the business. We can get in there, and whether we're at the actual business owner's location or the information is brought to our office, we get the work done. That's what we do. We do it efficiently, timely, and then we're current with all the accounting rules. A lot of times our clients with the accounting information will determine whether they have to provide financial statements to third-party people such as banks or insurance companies, in which those financial reports are different than from the financial reports that we may generate for the business owner. For the business owner, we want to give them the information to help them to manage and conduct their business. In that situation, we want to basically let them know what their cash flow is. We want them to help them manage their accounting AR. We want them to help them manage their AP, their payables, and then what money is left over, what money can we get out of the business and get to the owner. And so a lot of times, that is the information that we try and work with the owner to get to them so that they can help manage their business. Information that goes to a bank, we're concerned about bank covenants, whether the ratios are being met or not met, and if something needs to be worked on so that they are in compliance with bank covenants, then that's what, the owner needs to know that ahead of time versus trying to deal with it after the fact. And so working with an accounting firm in order to do this is basically provides a big incentive to basically outsource that type of work to an accounting firm such as ours.
And Charlie, it sounds like kind of going back to strategy number 2, if somebody hires a part-time or a full-time bookkeeper or an accountant, like you said, it seems like they fill a lot of work with just clerical stuff. If they hire somebody and use strategy number 3 and outsource it to a firm like yours, you don't have to, when you guys are doing this, they don't have to deal with their full-time person that could possibly go on vacation, take personal days, get sick, or I guess, I don't know if this happens, that they may leave suddenly and then the employer is stuck with nobody to handle their books and in a dire need to try and replace them. Does that occur?
We see that too often. And I'll give you a situation that we're dealing with currently where we've had a client, the bookkeeper left, and there were outstanding payroll reports that were never filed. And, and that is, a situation like that, we've got to get the business up and current with the state, or the state is, will come in. They are going to be penalized, but you do not want the state or any taxing authority to come down and basically put a clamp on the business so that they cannot operate. Or you don't want the business owner to have to take out time to go and deal with all this stuff that he thought was already taken care of. And so when you deal with a firm, accounting firm such as ours, one of the things that you get is redundancy. there's always someone here that can deal with the situations, and if that person is out, then there's always a backup. And so, with being able to outsource, there's also the idea that there's redundancy, and so that when there are payroll reports due, it doesn't matter, if someone is in or out, because there is going to be someone else. If someone is not there to take care of it, there's always someone else to pick it up and make sure that it's filed, so that we don't run into these situations of having to deal with outstanding claims from the state.
Another question that we typically get is that, depending upon, and I guess this is from your standpoint, is it the size of the business or the age of the business, or are there any kind of factors that you run across where a business suddenly feels like, well, I either have to stop doing this myself and outsource this or hire a person, or is it more or less just the disposition of the owner and how they are either doing it successfully by themselves or not doing it successfully?
It is typically, we find typically it's the volume of transactions. When a business, a guy starts his business, he's running it out, let's say out of his pickup or something of that mode. A lot of times, then he's just doing a checkbook type accounting. He's paying for stuff out of his pocket and all that good stuff, throwing the receipts in his truck, and then at some point in time he's going to gather them all up and figure out whether he's made money or lost. As volume picks up, as work picks up, there are more vendors to deal with, more bills to deal with. You may have an employee, you may not, or 1099, contract labor, and all of a sudden you need help because the business owner at that point cannot take on all that work. And so we just find that it is more of a volume of work than when someone starts looking to see if for someone to take over this function. And there's no magic number for the volume. It is more of, how much time does the business owner want to relieve himself of this burden and basically just get the information to make decisions from, versus having to be involved in, let's say the day-to-day operations of trying to do the accounting.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like what you're saying, too, is that as businesses grow, typically there are always points where they need to expand or hire or delegate or outsource, and that this may be one of the, symptoms or trigger points of growth that small businesses need to eventually do. And so maybe the faster that they do it or are on top of that, they can continue to grow and, like you said, focus on the sales aspect or the management and the running of the business itself.
That is right. And, we always go into a situation thinking, we are going to be working ourselves out of a job, because essentially as the small business owner grows, then we're going to be taking on, more work because there's more stuff that needs to be taken care of from an accounting side. At some point in time, it will be convenient for the business owner to hire someone full-time, because there's work that demands that someone there at the business take on. And then we just kind of start the whole process over again, because once we build the company up large enough, they're able to hire someone full-time, the company's going to continue to grow. And at that point, the company's is not going to want to hire a second accountant where there's not sufficient amount of work, and so we will get work back and kind of go through the whole process. As the company grows, then we increase our services to them, but then at some point those services are handed off back to the company because they've gotten personnel there to take care of it. But we'll always be providing services and working with the company as it grows or as it shrinks back down with the economy and what's happened with the business and in the industry that they're in. And so it just, we're flexible. We know where we stand, typically with the company as it goes. We know that at some point, someone else is going to step in, and we transition off with the company frequently because we've helped the company grow.
So, Charlie, if somebody is listening to this and this either sounds familiar or they've got a question about maybe they're interested in taking that next step and they just need some advice, are you able to talk with or maybe consult with them and kind of get their lay of the land? I guess what would the next step be for them to do?
Yeah, no, we talk with a number of people that are looking for bookkeeping, accounting services, and, we provide, 15-30-minute consultation with them. And essentially what we want to try to convey to them is, what the process is, but then what do we do? But then more importantly, that what we want to try to convey to the potential client is we want it to be a good fit. They need to feel comfortable with us. We need to feel comfortable with them, with the process of, where are we going to get the information? How is it going to be provided? What information do we need to provide to them so that they could be making their decisions? And then the fees, make sure that they're comfortable with the fees. And so we have a sit-down consultation with them, or we can do it over the phone, 15-30 minutes, and then, from that, then we try to convey the information so that they can make a decision. And the way that they can touch out and reach us is they can just give us a call, and, our phone number is 281-993-4530, or they can email me at charlie@charleswilsoncpa.com, and we'd be more than happy to give them some information or talk with them about this opportunity.
Well, great. Well, Charlie, thanks for taking the time out to be on the call today and talk with us about this. Again, if you've got an issue or a question, feel free to get a hold of Charlie by calling him at the phone number or sending him an email. If you're listening on the replay, the phone number should be here on the video, or if you're reading one of these free reports that Charlie puts out, again, the phone number will be listed there on the last page with Charlie's contact information, and you can get a hold of him there. So again, Charlie, thanks very much for being on the call. Again, the title of the call today was 3 Strategies to Solve the Bookkeeping Aspects of Running Your Business with Charles Wilson, CPA. And we hope to talk to everybody again soon sometime. Thanks again, Charlie.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.